Well, we finally made it, everyone. We got all those little glitches ironed out, and here we are. This is Elsie Kerns, Wellness with Elsie, your Eden Energy Medicine practitioner and Chaos to Clarity coach. And tonight I welcome Dondi Dahlin, who is a very accomplished author, speaker, actress, teacher, and mother. And Dondi co-authored the Little Book of Energy Medicine with her mom, Donna Eden, and also wrote her own book, The Five Elements, back in 2016. So tonight, she's going to tell us about the energies of love. In fact, I have my copy right here. So welcome, Dondi. I want to find out how all of this came about, putting together the Energies of Love Summit.
Okay, Elsie. Well, thank you so much. You are so terrific, and I'm so happy to be talking to you on this evening. The Energies of Love Summit starts on June 12th, and it has been a 2-year process, but actually a lot longer, because I'll just go into a little bit about Mom and David, and Mom is Donna Eden, and David is David Feinstein. When I was 11 and 12 years old, and we were living in Ashland, Oregon, long time ago, because I turned 50 this year, they would teach couples workshops. And not only would they teach these great couples workshops in classrooms all over our little town, and I'd be their assistant, but they would take couples on the Rogue River and the Klamath River on these whitewater rapids, and they'd raft all day long. And then at night, they'd make campfires and camp out. These were like 3, 4, 5-day trips. And at night, they would use all sorts of techniques. David wasn't tapping yet. Gary Craig and him weren't teaching tapping yet, but he was a clinical psychologist, and he was doing a lot of therapy with the couples. And Mom, of course, was doing her Eden Energy Medicine techniques with the couples. And it was such a fabulous thing for me to watch growing up, watching these couples who, with Mom and David's experience as a couple who had a lot of trouble in the beginning, getting along and staying married and being happy and being in love and in bliss, not only had that trouble, but they were able to bring their experience of being, my mom being an incredible healer. She doesn't like when I say that, but she just wants to say everyone's a healer. And David being a clinical psychologist, and these couples going from pretty miserable relationships to happiness and joy, whether they were newly married or newly dating, or they had been together for years. They were using the techniques and going so much farther than I had ever seen couples go before. So throughout the years, Mom and David taught these classes, and then they wrote the book, The Energies of Love, and it became a New York Times bestseller. And yeah, there it is, a great book. And of course, everything's going online these days. So a couple of years ago, we said, let's try and put this online in the way of a summit, where all couples and all people, and whether you're in a relationship or not, these techniques featured will work for you with your relationship to yourself, to your, oh my gosh, to your colleagues at work, to your parents, to your kids. They will work with all your relationships. We said, let's put this online and in the model of a summit, so everybody can see it free for at least 24 hours. So that's what we're doing. June 12th, it will launch, and so about a week away, I think. Yes. And for 24 hours, you can watch all 7 days of the summit. And then after that, you're invited to purchase it if you'd like. And if you do purchase it, there's all sorts of bonuses. But that's kind of how it began, Elsie. And I can go more into that, but I don't want to talk your ear off.
Well, Dondi, one of the things I would comment on is that this seems so important in the world right now, relationship. When we look around at what's happening with so much about relationship, the Me Too, all the things that have happened in the news. So tell us why you feel this is really important to put this summit out there, and especially tell us who's going to be in it. Fabulous, fabulous superstars.
Yes, I will. So thank you for asking that. You just nailed it. The world we are in today screams for a summit like this, is yearning for a summit where we can learn really easy, simple, but profound techniques to get along better with people. And it's not just romantic relationships. It's not just a love relationship with your partner. I use these techniques with my son, my 9-year-old son, all of the time. I use these techniques sometimes when I am really aggravated with somebody in a supermarket. I will use these techniques quickly with myself, simply, and they help me then get along better with other people. And that is the key these days. We're having trouble. Everyone is having trouble getting along and meeting each other. So one thing we do in the summit is we talk about the sensory types and how we all perceive each other and the world and our day and stress and our work. We all perceive it so differently. Whether you're a visual and you perceive it with what you see is wrong with a situation. That's one thing visuals do really well. It sounds kind of harsh, but if you're able to see what is wrong with a relationship or a situation, then you can fix it. If you're a digital and you see in lines and graphs and numbers, believe it or not, most digitals don't see in pictures. That's astounding for those of us who see in pictures and images to know that there are some people who don't. And to me, that right there changes your relationship with someone if your mate is a digital or your father is a digital, just to know that little piece. And there are 1,000 little pieces like that in the summit. So it's visual and digital and kinesthetic, which a lot of people feel. They feel the nuances in a relationship. And if you have a kinesthetic and a digital, the digital isn't feeling the nuances, but the kinesthetic is. The digital is just seeing graphs and pictures and listening to what is working, what isn't, very black and white, very logical, and the kinesthetic is feeling all of the emotion. So kinesthetic, visual, digital, and tonal. And tonal, in our field, Elsie, in our work, tonal is probably the person who is drawn to our work the most, highly sensitive. They are also able to pick up, well, they have strong intuition and are able to pick up on that intuition and what's happening in the relationship. So we go over the sensory types. We go over techniques that you can use when you are in an argument, which to me is priceless. Because you're in an argument, well, I can talk about myself, and a lot of people might feel this way. I go to anger and I'm really ticked off. I know I'm right. I want the person to know I'm right. And then I want to move on. And I don't want to talk about it. And I don't want to go through all of this psycho babble. I just want a technique that will work to get us out of the conflict, which is so painful to everybody. That's what we teach in this summit. We teach techniques that you can use when you're arguing, when you're fighting, when you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get along with this person. They can't even hear me. We have techniques for that moment. So those are some of the things people will gain from the summit, but people will also learn incredible stories from who you call our superstars. So we have Bruce Lipton, but we not only have Dr. Lipton, we have his wife. So they join us in the interview. It's not even an interview. These are conversations. We traveled from Santa Rosa, where Dawson Church was with his wife, Christine, to Santa Cruz, to Bruce Lipton's home with his wife, Margaret, to Miami, Florida, to see Alberto Villoldo and his wife, Marcela, to Ashland, Oregon to talk with Jean Houston and about her relationship with her husband who has now passed, Bob Masters, and what she learned from that and gleaned from that. And these people, not only are they some of the most intelligent minds, the most incredible brains on the planet, but they've been through relationships and they've been through the ringer. And, you know, to hear Bruce Lipton as a cell biologist talk about how he applies biology and epigenetics to relationship, to love relationship, it's truly profound. To hear Alberto and Marcella talk about, oh my gosh, when they were talking about this, our film crew, we had a very tiny film crew. I think, well, most of the time we had 2 people and sometimes we had 3, but our film crew was in tears when they were listening to Alberto and Marcella talk about how they followed a 5-year chakra map in their relationship when they were courting each other before they allowed themselves to get married. And it's incredible to hear their shamans and shamans, yes. Incredible shamans, 2 of the greatest shamans on this earth. And shamans are very in touch with the earth. And so they looked for signs in the environment to take the next step and to go to the next chakra and explore that chakra. And they'd explore chakras for 6 months to a year before they could move on to the next phase of their relationship. Of course, we have Mom and David in the summit, and they teach energy psychology, tapping techniques, Eden energy medicine techniques. It's just so fabulous. Again, it starts June 12th. And just because people get really confused, I'd like to say it is online. We do get our share of emails of people saying, where is this taking place? It's online. It will come through your computer or your phone, whatever you like to use. June 12th, you can sign up for free. You sign up for free, and Elsie will give you a link for that. And then what happens when you sign up is you get bonuses right away. We have audio bonuses for you just for signing up for free from Ariel Ward, from John Gray, from Greg Braden, and from Dawson Church, all conversations that we had with these incredible people who are some of the foremost experts on love and relationships. So that's a little bit, Elsie. What else would you like to know?
Well, I just want to comment that getting a little feedback here, trying to tone this down. I want to comment that Alberto, I saw that little teaser that Alberto did, and he spoke about his vulnerability. He was so transparent.
Yes, it's.
In fact, they all were. I was saying.
Yes, they all were. It's an incredible kind of thread that ran through the summit for us when we were talking with these great minds, to see the men, especially Bruce and Dawson, tear up and get teary-eyed, not only about their experience with relationships and what they've learned, but how in awe they are of the women they're with now. And then Jean, she doesn't have Bob, with us here. He's probably sitting right next to her in the interview, but we can't see him. And what she learned from Bob all of those years that they were in relationship together. Another really incredible part of how we worked with Jean was she did an interview for us exclusively for the summit. If you purchase the summit, so if you decide this is going to help me for the rest of my life, I can use it in all relationships, I'm going to purchase this thing, you will get a bonus from Jean Houston talking about her life and knowing people like Margaret Mead, Katharine Hepburn, talking about some of the great minds, Joseph Campbell, Aldous Huxley. It's a really incredible interview, and it's something that she doesn't talk about a lot. She knows a lot of incredibly famous people, from presidents to movie stars to sports figures, politicians, but because she's a close friend of Mom and David, she's let us in on a lot of the stories. And we said, Jean, would you be willing to talk about these amazing stories and about how when Kate Hepburn fell off a stage and you caught her and that's how you two became friends? Would you talk about these? And she said yes. So we have that bonus if people purchase the summit, and it's a great one. Many, many bonuses throughout the summit.
Well, I have been with Jean, trying to get this. So I have been with Jean at one of the conferences you gave. Her way of presenting things is so clear, so clear.
Yes, yes, and when words come out of her mouth, they're like novels. They're like a holy book that you would hold on to and carry with you for your whole life. These gems that come out of your mouth, it's absolutely astounding, and it's why she can command audiences all over the world, because her mind is just, well, Buckminster Fuller said her mind is a national treasure.
That is true. Yes, so true. Her voice, you're just mesmerized by her voice.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes, she always sounds like she has a very clear microphone, because it's this booming, deep, commanding, powerful, beautiful voice. And you look and you think, oh, she's just talking, no microphone. Wow.
Well, you know, your mom and David must be really happy about this, because they have taught so much energy medicine that I remember them saying they kind of had to put the energies of love on the back burner a little bit. And they even trying to write the book, they had to put it in the back burner. They were doing so much traveling that this has to be very special for them to sit with these people and do these interviews. Just incredible to be able to present that to us.
It is, Elsie. Thank you for saying that. Mom and David are so excited about the summit because they know the techniques work. Because they often say, if you've heard them on stage or in their classes or radio interviews, they say they were the toughest couple. It was so difficult because they were polar opposites in every way. And they started using these very simple techniques to be able to meet each other, to be able to cross a bridge and meet each other even when they were hating each other's guts. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't even stand to be around this person. But you are in relationship with this person. And how great is it to be able to have techniques to rise above that, the ego, the stress, the fighting, the baggage, the trauma from your past. We addressed that several times in the summit, trauma from the past and how to get past that, whether it was in relationship in your family and with your parents or with ex-husbands and wives or lovers. Get past the trauma, clear it so you can be fully present and happy and joyful in the relationships you're in now and have them be easy.
Your mother, and when we see your mom and David on stage, you see that loving support, but acknowledging each other's differences. So it's very nice to see them both be themselves, but still support each other.
Yes, and that's a theme, Elsie, that a couple of our guests touched on in the summit, which starts June 12th. And two of the people were Alberto Villoldo and his wife, Marcela Lobos. She talked especially about what it was like to come into relationship. She had 2 kids from a previous relationship. He had been married before, and she came in and he was quite famous in his field. And how do you work with a person who is very well known, that hundreds, thousands of students want to be around and want to listen to? and you're trying to have an intimate, sacred union with this person. And she talked about how they were able to make that work. And a huge part of it is what you just said, is honoring the differences, really seeing each other, and honoring, not just knowing you two are different, but acknowledging and honoring the differences with each other. And those techniques are taught in this summit.
Well, that's so important because it allows each person to be who they really are, and you're not losing yourself in the relationship, which happens so very often.
Yes, it's true. It's true. And I spoke a little bit about the sensory types of kinesthetic and visual and digital and tonal. A lot of times a kinesthetic can lose themselves in the other person. My mom often says, because she's very kinesthetic, her story disappears and it's the story of the other. And she is all about their story and lifting them up and making sure they're happy. How does a kinesthetic honor themselves? And how does a partner of a kinesthetic really begin to know a kinesthetic and honor that? So this is a theme that comes up a lot in the summit.
If people have this information, they clearly can have a much better relationship. There's no doubt about that. So it begins on June the 12th. And how long? It's running for 7 days?
It's running for 7 days. And once you register, so you'll register for free. Elsie is going to give you a link. When you register, you'll already start out with some great bonuses to listen to. And then don't you worry, we'll be bombarding you with emails daily to remind you of when it begins. Don't worry, we won't do that when the summit is over. But a lot of people want the reminders. They ask us, please send me a daily reminder because I'm so busy. So we will do that, and we will let you know that it is starting June 12th. And if you cannot watch it exactly when we air it, which will be different for different time zones around the world, it will be going for 24 hours. Each day will go for 24 hours for free. You'll get to watch it for free for that 24 hours each episode. And then, of course, we'll welcome you to purchase it at any time. And I really do, I don't want to be salesy because we're just happy you're all going to watch it for the 24 hours if you can and pick up some techniques. That's what Mom and David really want. They want you to have some techniques that will help you bring love and peace to this world and all of your relationships, including the one with yourself. But if you do purchase it, I want to say, David always says, don't say you guarantee. So I won't guarantee, but I can almost guarantee that you are going to be so happy you did, because you'll be able to go back to this for the rest of your life. Plus, when you purchase it, you get all the transcripts. We send you all the transcripts on paper. Some people really like that because they can read it like a book and take notes. Of course, you'll be able to watch it. This is not an audio summit. This is a video summit. We will be in the homes of Jean Houston, Bruce Lipton, Alberto Villoldo, and Dawson Church. And we also have some classroom footage of some couples. And then we meet, you'll see toward the end of the summit on day 7, I think it is, we meet with 3 couples in a home and we work directly with them, and you will work along with us in tapping techniques and Eden energy medicine techniques to make your relationship better. And again, if you don't have a relationship, that's so totally okay, because what this summit is going to do for you, it's going to strengthen your relationship to yourself, so you are empowered, and so you know yourself even better when you do enter that next loving relationship. Plus, most of you have family or friends or work colleagues. I don't know anyone who lives in a hole, and you'll be able to use all of these techniques with the work colleagues, the family, and the friends.
Well, we're certainly, we are in a life-changing time. So This is going to be great. Thank you, Dondi. We had our glitches, but we finally got on. Thank you so much for all your information, and I'll get that link to everyone.
Oh, great, great. And when you post it, I'll share it and I'll post the link as well. Thank you so much, Elsie. That will be very easy for people to just click on, get registered, get your bonuses, and enjoy this summit. I think you're going to love it. I know you're going to love it. I can guarantee it.
Yeah. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. We have Roger, Margita, Roseanne, Sherry, Lisa, Wendy, Kathleen. Thank all of you for coming in and joining. And I'm going to make a little YouTube of this, so we'll have this to listen to. I'll send it around after as well. Okay, thanks again, Dondi. Good night, everybody.
Everybody. Thank you, everybody watching. Thank you, Elsie.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.